Hi there. So, as most of you know, I teach writing and communications and public speaking. And just earlier this morning, I was at an inter-school speech competition judging that event. And, I observed a few things that I've been noting for a while. So, I thought, let me quickly share a few essential tips that I feel are a must for young students to know and to practice while making a speech in public, while any kind of public speaking is being undertaken. Number one, students, don't write out your entire speeches and cram them up. So what happens is when you write your entire speech and you try to mug it up, when you're on stage delivering your speech, your entire attention, focus, and effort goes into trying to recollect and remember each word of your speech verbatim. What that does is it distracts you from any kind of real engagement with your audience, and speech making and public speaking is all about audience engagement, and that's the reason why people go and listen to speakers live, is that they want some kind of interactivity, whereas mugging up our speeches just robs us of that opportunity to interact one-on-one with the audience. What you do instead of mugging up your entire written speech is actually use cue cards, visiting card size little slips, where at most you can write the main points that you want to talk about as part of your speech, and glance at those cue cards as you go along, so that most of the time your eye line, your attention, and your interaction is with your audience, and not trying to jog your memory in terms of what you wrote in your speech itself. So that's number one. Don't write out and cram up your speeches. Just make the broad points and then weave the rest of your speech around those main points impromptu. That's number one. Number two, guys, speech making is not about big flowery language. It's the same thing that applies to writing. Here also, when you are making your speeches, use language that you are comfortable with. Use words that you're familiar with, because the moment you try to use big fancy words that you don't use in normal course while talking, you again become very, very conscious, and people who are listening to you can tell that you're conscious and you're trying to recollect those big fancy words and you don't really truly know what they mean. So that's number two. Use simple, effective language and words that you are familiar with, that are part of your system and your DNA. And number three, guys, infuse your speeches more with personal opinion, personal incidents, personal anecdotes, rather than just cram up your speeches with big statistics, figures, and facts. Those are important, but then again, what happens is that if the bulk of your speech contains facts and figures and statistics, then your speech starts to sound like a bit of a report. And really, if the audience wants a report, they can very well go and Google up pretty much any topic in existence, and they will find those facts and figures and that report. What people want to know from a live speaker is his or her personal opinion and personal take on a particular topic or a subject. So don't make your speeches like reports. Infuse them with humor, with lightheartedness, and with your personal experience and view in relation to the subject that you're speaking about. So those are the three main tips I wanted to share today in terms of public speaking. Keep your speeches simple. Don't cram them by writing them up and then mugging them up. Speak impromptu. Speak from the heart. Keep the language simple and express your personal opinion on a particular subject. So that's my tips for the day for public speaking. That was what my vlog was about. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.